The Joe Rogan Experience.
Yo, what's your go-to dipping sauce from McDonald's?
Well, I don't necessarily have a favorite dipping sauce, Joseph. It all depends on the mood, you know? And you see, first, we need to establish that each dipping sauce represents a certain archetype.
You're saying that these dipping sauces correspond to certain personalities?
Exactly. And what we find is that sweet and sour sauce consistently ranks among the most popular. And why is that? Well, because it perfectly balances chaos and order. You see, the sweetness represents structure and predictability, while the sourness introduces an element of adventure, albeit a rather mild one.
Dude, that's insane. I never thought about it that way. But yeah, sweet and sour is always a classic. But you're right, that shit can be kind of mild. But what about barbecue sauce?
Okay, so barbecue is a traditionalist sauce. It's deep, smoky, and deeply rooted in history. Like, if sauces had political ideologies, barbecue sauce would be a conservative.
Yeah, that's actually so true. So if barbecue is tradition, then what does honey mustard represent?
Well, honey mustard represents rebellion against authority.
Wow, I guess that makes me a Sigma Chad then, since honey mustard is probably my favorite. And whenever I ask people if they dig honey mustard, they usually say no. See, these are the same type of people who are too afraid to do an ice plunge or smoke DMT.
You see, that's how you know you're an extreme individual, Joseph. You're a cool guy, and I respect that you're able to handle that sharp zing from the honey mustard. Not a lot of people can do that.
Totally, bro. It's I have a special ability where I can eat honey mustard with my chicken strips, as well as that McDonald's spicy buffalo sauce.
Spicy buffalo suits you very well, since it portrays the warrior archetype. It's the sauce that demands a reaction from you. You can't just pussyfoot around the spicy buffalo trying to take micro dips with your McNugget. It forces you to engage with it voluntarily, to embrace its spicy flames of confrontation.
Dude, I had no idea how profound some of these archetypes were behind some of these dipping sauces. This is actually extremely fascinating.
It really is. Your choice of sauce is actually a pretty accurate reflection of your psychological tendencies. If you gravitate towards sweet and sour, you appreciate balance. If you choose barbecue, you respect tradition. But if you eat your McNuggets with ranch sauce, then we have a real existential problem on our hands.
Really? What's wrong with using ranch with your nuggets? I used to do that shit.
Well, don't get me wrong. Ranch can be tangy and refreshing. And ranch is typically where people start with their journey with these dipping sauces, usually during childhood. But as you grow, if you remain fixated on ranch into adulthood, you may have failed to properly individualize.
Wow. So if someone still dips their nuggets in just ranch and no other sauce, it's like they're refusing to grow up?
Precisely. It's like Peter Pan syndrome, but for condiments. True maturity comes from embracing more complex sauces, like spicy buffalo, honey mustard, or even the more exotic sauces like Szechuan.
Yeah, man. That Szechuan sauce was another Gucci dip.